Hello and welcome to My Faith in a Minute, where the goal is to increase awareness about the wonderful religious diversity around us by focusing on what we find most precious in the ways we orient around religion. I'm your host, Craig Peterson. In this segment, we hear from Christine about what she finds most precious about her orientation around religion.
Hello, my name is Christine, and I identify as a Jesus follower or Christian. One of the most precious things about my faith to me is the way that God confronts social inequalities through the person of Jesus. In Matthew 21, one of the most famous stories of Jesus is the cleansing of the temple. And in this story, Jesus walks into the temple and he sees people selling sacrifices for the temple and exchanging foreign money for local money. And they're doing this at really high, exorbitant rates. And he gets really angry. He starts flipping over tables and benches. In some of the stories, he has a whip. He's cracking it and chasing people out. At this point, he quotes from two Old Testament prophets. Quoting from Isaiah, he says, "It is written, my house will be called a house of prayer for all nations." And then switching to Jeremiah, he says, "But you are making it a den of robbers." I think what Jesus is doing here is he's commenting on how people are taking advantage of people of other national origins and ethnicities, and preventing them from having full access to God's presence by taking advantage of their vulnerable situation. And I love that Jesus' response to this isn't a tame or polite response. It's a response of righteous anger and zeal. I think that, for me, that shows me God's heart for these kind of injustices and the way that we should respond to them today. So that's just really beautiful and precious and important to me. Thank you for listening.
You've been listening to USU Interfaith Initiative's My Faith in a Minute, where we aim to increase awareness about the wonderful religious diversity around us through focusing on what matters most to us in our orientations around religion. Have a great day.